Make some noise for your amazing host.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Sandals Church Kids. I'm Joelle.
I'm Will, and in Sandals Church Kids, we are all about the vision of being real with ourselves, God, and others.
While we're hanging out today, we're going to worship together, hear a Bible story, and watch some fun videos.
That's right, we are in week 5 of our series called Bookmark'd, and our story for today is called Ruth the Respected, Reliable Relative, and how she went from a homeless, husbandless, and hopeless to joyful and jubilant, from our story in the book of Ruth.
I can't wait to hear the story, but for now, let's see what's coming up next.
Coming up.
We're going to learn how to honor God with our decisions with one swift switch of a snack.
Find out how on Bookmark'd.
All right, we're just a little bit closer to hearing about Ruth's story, and I can't wait to hear it.
Same here. But first, I've got a question for all you guys out there, and for you, Joelle. What's the most memorable book that you've ever read and why?
Well, the most memorable book I've ever read was actually a book written about me.
Nice.
It was a book that my parents had made, and it was called Joelle, Where in the Zoo Are You? And it was a story about little Joelle getting lost at the zoo, and I went to different animal enclosures, which is kind of scary, and I would ask the animals, have you seen my parents? And eventually they helped me get back to my parents. So,
Joelle, we are so glad that you found your way back home from the zoo. Let's go ahead and check out our fun video. We'll see you soon.
Okay, so we are back with another game that Mrs. Coyote and I are going to play.
I'm excited.
It is the Google Nest game, and basically we have to ask Google one question and see if she can answer.
Mr. Coyote, your first word is the word Batmobile.
How do I do this without saying the word bat?
Ooh, that's actually true. You can't say Batman.
Hey Google, what does the Dark Knight drive?
He drives a convertible Murcielago Roadster in Batman Begins, and in The Dark Knight he rams his Murcielago LP 640 into a police motorcade.
No!
Oh, man.
Okay,
Wow. That went
so you can steal then.
deep. Okay.
It's your
I'm
turn to
stealing.
steal.
Hey, Google, what is the primary mode of transportation for the Caped Crusader?
On the website portersimon.com, they say the Batmobile is a fictional high-tech automobile that Batman employs as his primary mode of
You did it.
transportation. Do you want a little more context?
Nails.
No. When I said the Dark Knight, it just threw it off. Oh man, I'm kind of disappointed now. But it is your turn,
All right.
and your word is Wednesday.
Oh. Hey, Google, what is the name of the daughter in the Addams Family?
Nailed it.
Here's what I understood from Wikipedia. Lisa Loring as Wednesday in the Addams Family original series.
That was
Do you
good.
want a little more context?
Do.
All right.
Good job. That was good.
All right.
That was very creative. Yeah.
All right. Your phrase or words, New York.
New York.
New York.
New York. Hey Google, which place makes the best bagels?
Here's some information from the web that might possibly help. New York City.
What?
On the website cheatsheet.com, they say, New York. It's pretty indisputable that New York City is king of the bagel scene.
What?
King of the bagels.
Have you been on the bagel scene in New York before?
I am not on the bagel scene, but I definitely knew that they are the bagel kings. Okay, this is the last one. This is pretty
Okay.
good, guys. Okay, I'm very excited that you threw this out. So your word is Dan Zimbardi.
That is hilarious. Man, what would Google know?
Dan Zimbardi, if you're watching this, what question would you ask Google?
Okay, hey Google. Hey Google. Who is the executive pastor of Sandals Church?
Dan Zimbardi. On the website linkedin.com, they say, Dan Zimbardi, executive pastor, Sandals Church, LinkedIn.
Very good.
That's
okay, well
awesome.
that's good. Hey Google, who is Jordan Iot?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
I'm so sorry. Can I try?
Sure.
Hey Google, who is Kelly Iot?
Here's a summary from the website en.wikipedia.org. Kelly Iot is an American attorney and politician who served as a United States Senator from 2011 to 2017 and Attorney General for New Hampshire from 2004 to 2009. She worked as a law clerk for the New Hampshire Supreme Court before entering private practice.
Kelly, you have been up to a lot.
Yeah, I've got a lot of extra free time.
Wow.
So, traveling, earning law degrees.
I didn't even know your middle name was Ann. I thought it was Elaine.
According to Google, it is.
According to
So
Google,
that
it's
makes
Ann.
it official.
Thank you guys so much for playing. What was this game called? The Google Nest game. Thank you guys so much for playing the Google Nest game.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
So it's worship time, and personally for me, I've had a pretty hurried week. So I'm really looking forward to slowing down with you guys and worshiping God together.
Thank you for sharing that, Will. And that's why I love worship. It's a time to give God everything we have through music.
Yep, love it. All right, Sandals Church kids, go ahead and get up on those feet and let's worship together.
Basically, Joshua said, wait, God has greatness lined up for you. You're gonna see it soon, get ready. God has greatness lined up for you. You're gonna see it soon. Then Joshua told the people, make yourself holy for the Lord. Tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things. Make yourself holy for the Lord. Tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things among you. Hold on. Hold on. Basically, Joshua said, wait, God has greatness lined up for you. You're gonna see it soon, so get ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready. God has greatness lined up for you. You're gonna see it soon. Then Joshua told the people, make yourself holy for the Lord. Tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things. Make yourself holy for the Lord. Tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things among you. Make yourself holy for the Lord. Tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things. Make yourself holy for the Lord. Tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things among you. So what makes me holy? Yeah, what makes me holy? Only Jesus makes me holy. Only Jesus makes me holy. And I don't run the race for a trophy. I'm spending time with the God that wants to know me. Knowing Jesus is the thing that makes me holy. So I will face my circumstances boldly. Joshua told me, make yourself holy for the Lord. Tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things. Make yourself holy for the Lord. Tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things among you. Hold on. Hold on. Then Joshua told the people, make yourself holy for the Lord.
know. I'm just reading more about Ruth's story. You know, the one that's called Ruth the Respected, Reliable Relative, and how she went from a homeless, husbandless, and hopeless to joyful and jubilant. From the story in the book of Ruth, that one.
Okay. Well, this week, we'll see how God works through our character, and that means we can honor God in our decisions. So turn the next page in
3, 2, 1.
Imagine this. You and your best friend went hiking in the mountains one day. And after you had hiked for a while, you came to a fork or a split in the road. Now, on one side, there was a sign pointing to the right that said 1 mile loop. And to the left, a sign that said 10 miles to the top. Now, you knew that obviously the 1 mile loop would be easier. However, your friend started walking to the left on the 10-mile trail. What on earth were they doing? Well, you started walking after them, and they told you that you should take the 1 mile hike instead, because that would be better for you instead of going on the harder trail with them. Well, in this moment, you have a choice to make. Do you follow them on the harder 10-mile trail, or do you choose the easier one? As you think about that, let's check out a story in the Bible where a woman named Ruth had to make a very similar choice.
We left off in our story hearing about Gideon and Samson, two very different judges or leaders of Israel. We're gonna pick back up right in the middle of these two stories to hear about a girl named Ruth. Let's start with chapter 1. The truth about Ruth. Ruth turned her head as she heard quiet sobbing coming from the other room. She set down her pot and wiped off her hands and went to comfort her sister-in-law, Orpah. She and Orpah had married 2 brothers and become family a long time ago. But Orpah's husband had died a few weeks ago, and the pain was still fresh. Ruth knew exactly how sad and alone Orpah felt. She had lost her own husband less than a year ago. She sat with Orpah quietly, hugging her tightly and stroking her long dark hair. As they sat, Ruth thought anxiously about their future. It was just her, Orpah, and Naomi, their mother-in-law, with no husbands to support and provide for their family. The 3 women had no way of making money, no right to their land, no way to have children, and little hope for the future. What are we going to do? How will we survive? She wondered. Chapter 2. Ruth voices her choices. A few weeks later, Naomi, Ruth's mother-in-law, sat her and Orpah down and told them they had run out of money. Naomi said she had no choice but to go back to her homeland, Judah, where her tribe, the Israelites, lived. Maybe, she explained, her extended family could take care of her in her old age. Ruth wasn't surprised. She knew this might happen. Ruth looked at Orpah, then back at Naomi, and said boldly, "We'll come back with you." Naomi shook her graying head and closed her wrinkled eyes. "No," she said, "I have nothing to offer you. You've never left Moab. It's your home. Stay here and go back to your relatives. You are still young enough to find new husbands and start a new life. My life is too sad for me to share it with you." Ruth thought for a minute. Naomi was right. It made sense for her to stay and to try to start a family again. If she went with Naomi, she would be giving up her chance and trading it for a life she knew would be incredibly difficult. Naomi looked at Orpah, and Orpah quickly looked away. Then, with tears in her eyes, Orpah said quietly, "Maybe you're right, Naomi. I should stay in Moab." Orpah got up, hugged Naomi, and left. It made sense to stay in Moab, but Ruth knew the right thing to do was be loyal to Naomi. "I'm going with you, Naomi," Ruth said with determination. "Where you go, I'll go. I'll follow the one true God you taught me about. You are still my family." Naomi nodded in agreement and reached out to hug her daughter-in-law tightly. So the next few chapters are about how Ruth stayed loyal with Naomi as she traveled back to Judah. Now, when they arrived in Judah, Ruth met a loyal and honorable man named Boaz. Boaz was kind, and he gave Ruth food even though she was a foreigner and not an Israelite. When Ruth told Naomi this, they made a bold plan to ask Boaz to marry Ruth. And it worked. Let's check back at the end of Ruth's story. Chapter 8, Ruth's Reward. Ruth woke up cheerily as the new day dawned. The birds were chirping, the sun was shining, and she was nice and warm in her bed. She got up and started making breakfast with a smile on her face. She couldn't wait for Naomi to wake up. She had big news she wanted to share with her. It had been about a year since she and Naomi had left Moab and moved to Judah. Now she was married, and she and Naomi were both well taken care of by Boaz, her new husband. She thought about where she had been just last year. Homeless, husbandless, and hopeless. A foreigner in a new land she knew no one in. So much had changed since then. Then Ruth heard Naomi's soft footsteps behind her. She whipped around and in one excited breath said, "Guess what, Naomi? I'm pregnant!" Naomi gasped and her eyes filled with happy tears. A grandchild! She couldn't believe it. Naomi gave Ruth a huge hug. God had taken their tragedy and somehow turned it into something more wonderful than either of them could have ever imagined.
That was an amazing story. Now, here's the deal. One of the most important things about Ruth was her character, or the kind of person she was, especially when other people weren't looking. Ruth had good character, which means what she did and what was in her heart matched what was in God's heart. I absolutely love that about who Ruth was. Ruth was faithful and she was loyal to Naomi by deciding not to leave her, even though it was definitely the harder thing to do. Ruth was bold and courageous when she talked to Boaz by asking him for what she needed. Ruth reflected who God is through her actions, and God worked in her life by turning her tragedy into a miraculous blessing. And the great news is that God works through us when we choose to do the right things too. So let's take a look at our one thing for today. The one thing to remember is that God works through my character.
God working through our character reminds me of these cups. All right, Ethan, we have 6 cups, 3 full, 3 empty. So here is your puzzle. I need you to have the cups make this pattern right here. The only catch
Lay it on me.
is that you can only move 1 cup.
Only one?
Only one.
Only one.
And I will even give you one of your beloved yellow starbursts.
Big fan. All right. So if I move the dinos, sorry guys, you're extinct. Hope you don't mind. If I go here, no, that's not right.
Nope.
Take the beloved yellow starburst and company. Go. No.
You could maybe force it.
And then take the Cheetos and popcorn and noodles. Nope. Or even like go a different way. Like this, maybe right. No. Man, I don't know, Joel. How are we gonna do it?
No worries, Ethan. Sadly, you will not be getting a yellow starburst, but let me show you how to do this. So if you take this cup with the starburst.
Whoa, you're joking.
And that is how we make our pattern full, empty, full, empty, full, empty.
My mind is literally blown right now.
Now, Ethan, you were so close to making the right decision, so how about you take a little yellow starburst for the road?
Thanks, Joel.
Technically, you could have solved the puzzle, Ethan. You just needed to be able to make the right decision in order to do it. It kind of reminds me of you and me.
We go through life making lots and lots of decisions, like how to act when something we don't like happens, how to treat others, and whether or not we should be honest or lie.
All of the decisions we make, good and bad, are what make up our character, or who we are inside.
But making those types of decisions can be really hard, just like it was for Ruth in our story.
Definitely. But God gives us the Bible and the Holy Spirit to help us know the right decisions to make. When we decide to do the right thing over and over, we begin to have good character, and that makes God super happy because we are acting like Him.
And that's why our action step for today is that we can honor God in our decisions.
Hi, my name is Lori Lynn, and I'm from Sandals Church, Anaheim. I want to tell you about a time I honored God in my decisions. About 4 years ago, along with my family, we decided to help take care of my grandpa. My parents had been taking care of him for several years, and they were really tired and needed a rest. I was really nervous about having the time to take care of him. Our family, just like every family, was really busy. We had our jobs, we had school, music lessons, practice, and of course, church. It was gonna be a big sacrifice for everyone. I was also really anxious about taking care of him. Like, what if he got sick? I had never taken care of a sick person before or someone who needed lots of medical attention, but we knew that taking care of my grandpa, it would honor not only my grandpa, but my parents who were really tired. They needed a rest. And you know what? It was going to honor my grandpa. And my grandpa wasn't just any ordinary man. He was a pastor, and he spent his whole life teaching other people about Jesus. And I knew it would honor God if we took care of my grandpa. So my husband and our family, we prayed about it, and we even asked our kids how they felt about it. And we all decided we were gonna have Grandpa come live with us. And you know what? It was the best decision we ever could have made. I'm so grateful for the time we were able to spend together. We would cook for him, wash his clothes, brush his hair, give him his medicine, and help him brush his teeth. It was a lot of work, but we loved having him in our home. It gave us the opportunity to hear so many stories about his life. On good days, he would tell us the funniest jokes. He had us laughing so much. He would also tell us these silly songs he knew as a kid, and he would tell us all about what he had learned from Jesus through the years. You see, he had lived a life honoring God. He left a legacy for us to learn about how to care for others. I know God was really honored by how we took care of my grandpa. And just like my family, you guys can honor God in your decisions too.
If you know our series memory verse, let's say it together.
Make yourselves holy for the Lord. Tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things among you.
Joshua 3:5.
We saw in our story how God did amazing things by working through Ruth's good character.
That's why the one thing to remember is that God works through our character.
And our action step for today is that we can honor God in our decisions.
These are great things to think about this week and even talk to your friends and family about.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today, you guys.
Don't forget to download your Get Real guide at the button below this video so you can do the Now What this week.
Pick one day this week and write a big list of all the decisions that you make that day.
You probably decided whether or not to brush your teeth, what to eat for dinner, how to answer the question on your homework, and how to respond to your parent when they ask you to clean your room.
Now look at your list and put a mark next to the decisions that you think honored God. Keep it up.
One last thing before we go. Hang out at sandalskids.tv to check out bonus content like our live episodes and our new music videos.
Thanks for getting real with us today. We'll see you next time.